What are we doing here? What's up, creepers? And Kickers Chris, the Atari Creep, coming back at you live through the power of being naked on Twitter. What is up, everybody? This is just random. I'm bored. I've been wanting to produce all week. I'm home this week. And I got stupid fucking COVID. I woke up Christmas morning all thieved out, and my lady works in healthcare, and she was kind enough to bring it home this holiday season. And yeah, so she had it first, and of course I got Alan. What's going on, my friend? How are you? How you doing, buddy? And yeah, that's it. I hope everyone's holiday went awesome. Did you know John Riggs... Let's see, here we go. Alan says, did you know John Riggs made a game called Yeah Yeah Beebis? And you can play it for free? Oh, right on. I'll check it out. Mr. Shaw, how are ya? It's an Android app. Okay. Cool. Can you guys hear the guitar at all? There's no point in me even playing it if you can't hear it. Well, actually, I use it like a fidget tool when I'm sitting here. Honestly, just doing my normal, everyday, routine bullshit. So, yeah, no, I hope everyone had a great Christmas, those who were inclined enough to celebrate. I don't really have much of an agenda. I do have a few topics. Just to keep you, get you up to speed. Obviously, we talked about COVID. We'll talk about Christmas. And I'll flash a few of the gifts at you here if I can muster up the time and the give a shit. But I did download a couple of games. I touched my Atari VCS inappropriately for the first time, but this is the first time I've touched it since, honestly, the last video you saw me make of the damn thing. I may have fired up here and there between, but for the most part, I started off with the thing. I made the videos, and I'm like, all right, we're going to do this, right? And I just never did. A whole bunch of other stuff came up. And Christmas Day, I said, you know what, I got a few extra bucks in the bank. So I got myself two games. I got Savage Halloween or something like that for like $3.99. My buddy, I'm hoping he'll come in here, Jonathan. He's the one who hit me to it. I think I knew about the game, but he was just like, yeah, dude, I just got it for like $6. It's super cheap. This is back, about 2 or 3 months ago. And I guess it was even further on sale. So I got that. I got that for the Atari VCS. And I also downloaded the Atari 50th Anniversary Collection. I had it for the Switch. As a matter of fact, I had a whole bunch of games for the Switch. I even bought stuff from that limited run. It was that Castlevania collection. And I noticed I'm accruing all these games for console I never touch. I had really great titles. There's Star Wars, Pinball, and all kinds of other stuff. And I said, you know what? I could use the money better than I can use these games. So, and this is a while ago. So I sold it off to get some crack. Probably to get some groceries or something. But so Atari 50 was, excuse me, I dropped my pick. I'll be right back. Wow, that was a fun trip. So I downloaded that for the Atari VCS, which, honestly, that's probably the best place for it anyhow. And I'm sure a lot of you would agree with me on that. So I did download that, and I think I played the original Yars' Revenge for a little while. And then the updated version on there for a while. I didn't really get too much into anything. I just downloaded it, and then, of course, I've been really sleeping for the past... God, the whole week. I've been in and out of bed. Yesterday was an alright day. I think I just did a little too much, because I just could not wake up today. I was in bed till like 10 or 11 o'clock, which I guess in some cases isn't out of the norm, but, it is what it is. So, I still haven't given this thing a try yet. Again, I don't like, despite all of you guys saying it, I love the look of it. This is a Shelf Queen. Let's take this thing off first real quick. This is a Shelf Queen. I enjoy looking at it. I just don't enjoy using it very much. But hold on, let me. God damn it, this thing's tight. But as it were, our buddy Richard Haywood sent me a couple of 3D printed joystick toppers for it. The thing is, I still have it too tight, so it pulled the cap off of the top, and it happens. You know, I can pull this thing out no problem. But what this is supposed to do is not so much give you, super arcade action, but help with the spinner aspect of things, and that's what I'm hoping that this will help me out with. Gosh darn it, where are my pliers? I was scratching my butthole with them last night. There they are. There they are. Yeah, just as fresh as they were. I thought about making copies of them, making them available on my Etsy shop. I'm actually probably getting rid of my Etsy shop. But I still need to sand out a little bit and make it just tight enough. But I'm hoping this works. I really am hoping that I can use it like a spinner thing. It looks great on top of it. I mean, it's primered right now because this is literally the 3D printed part. It was in two parts. It was the body and then the top dome thing. And I had to blend them, which I did pretty goddamn well. And I've just been using Bondo spot putty and filler primer. And it's nice and smooth. It's ready for a finish, but I think I'm going to make a couple of silicon copies of this. And if anyone wants one for their VCS joystick, maybe I'll get them out there. That'd be a lot easier than those dust covers I was making. Those things, the way it printed, they broke. But yeah, I can't thank him enough for that. He was in town when we went to go see Video Games Live, and he swung by my work just as I had left or something like that. Or maybe I wasn't in that day. I don't know. But he left him with my work. And then we saw each other a couple days later for the show. Or maybe he did it after. I don't know. But regardless, I don't know why that's out here. I figured I'd talk about it anyway. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What's going on here? People are interacting. Alice says, or you can get the Nintendo Switch eShop version or the physical NES cartridge with a manual. That's pretty cool. I don't have an NES, and nor do I care to, honestly. If I ever get my NES itch, I have plenty of digital ways to play them, so I prefer that. Or we have the Switch here, so I can just fire that up and get a few games. But that's pretty cool. Thanks, Helen. Tweet and Twenda Hooligan says, hey, Creep, did you know Pat Contry is good friends with Gerard? Don't start fucking starting fires, bro. I've said my piece about the Gerard thing. You fucking troublemaker. Both have helped each other out with the charities and all that. Yeah. You know, if I ever get truly mad at Pat, I just don't like the kid. I'm really not mad at the guy or anything. I don't like his personality. His earlier show was funny. It was stupid. It was like watching. It was like being entertained by your kids' entertainment. You know what I mean? You have to sit there with them because they're not old enough to be by themselves. But and some of the episodes are actually pretty cool. But I've never had a real beef with the guy. I don't care how he feels about anything. He just bugs me. I don't know why. People talk about living rent free. Sometimes he's in there rent free, and I don't know why. Mostly because people bring it up. But Alice says, or you can get it for the Evercade. Oh, right on. I got rid of my Evercade. I sold it to my buddy Rick R. But Howard, what's up, buddy? He says, wishing you a speedy recovery. I appreciate it, bud. I appreciate it. I first peaked on Christmas Day. I woke up with the fever. So I'm hoping I'm at the end of it because I got to go to fucking work on Tuesday. We'll see. Hopefully I can rest the rest of the weekend and do a thing. NES is overrated. You know, I think it's overhyped. I think it's an amazing console, and thank God for the NES. Seriously, thank God for it. Because everybody else fucked it up. The whole industry. They fucked it up. And here NES is trying to be all sneaky with their entertainment machine. But I don't know. It's up there for me. I don't have the desire to collect physical anymore. I had a great game room. if you guys have gone back, or you go back with me. God, almost a decade ago. I mean, we've been here a decade now, but um, I had the NESs, and I had multiples, and I had this, I had that, and just variants and customized stuff, and I had this console and 5 of these consoles and a big shelf to put it all on that I got for 50 fucking cents, believe it or not, at a Goodwill. It was crazy how that went down. And if you remember seeing it, it was nice. It was giant, had lights and mirrors. It looked like it belonged in a fancy fucking shop that sold stuff that would break if you looked at it wrong. And cost way more than you should ever pay for anything. I just don't have the desire to have that anymore. I collect physical pre-NES, not actively. Never had a desire to collect much for the Super Nintendo, just choice games. In fact, the N64, I hate that console so much. I don't know why. Let's see. Let me go back and see if I missed anybody here. Richie Skulls, of course. How can I miss you, bro? Welcome in, man. The mad moderator. My wife flew out to sort office. Hold on. Where are my fucking glasses? 4 hours later, fever, COVID. My daughter. Oh no. Dishwasher and a chef. That's ungood with the COVID floating around. Yeah, my lady works in healthcare. I work in the kitchen now at the high school. He offered me pretty good money. And I said, you know what? I'll do it. Fuck it. I hate that building. My kids are still there. It's fun picking on them while they're in line or whatever. Embarrassing them in front of their friends, which I haven't really done much of, but it'll come. It'll come. I promise. I was surprised for anybody who's watching this, whether it be now live or in the replay, that's been around for a while and remembers me doing props and stuff. I'm bringing one back, and I want to talk about it here in a second. But let me catch up on the chat. Yeah, I hope, Mad Moderator, I hope for a quick recovery. This time was no joke. The first time I got COVID, it was like, I felt gross for one night, had a little bit of a fever. I could still taste things, I could still smell. And I just felt like I had a flu that was too much of a pussy to stick around. And this time, man, like just now, I just started getting real gross. Believe it or not, the only thing that was helping with the body aches, I know you shouldn't have done that. I know this is like a lung disease, but that was the only thing that took care of the body aches. And it was that NyQuil for the rest of the... And, more Tylenol as needed. And I know not to overdo the acetaminophen, so I didn't gouge on that crap. But you had it last year. Yeah, but the first time I had it, Howard, it wasn't really that bad this time. Oh, my God. I mean, I'm off all this week because I work for a school, right? And I had no vacation. It was all bed. And my lady, of course, she had it, so she was home most of the week, too. It's crazy. Castlevania on the N64 was totally disappointment. Both of them. Both of them were, and I'm going to just say they were hot garbage. I'm sure people grew up and loved them, and they, I totally respect the nostalgia, but I love the Hawaiian golf game in N64. Never seen it, never heard of it. I never got into the N64. I mean, I got a few videos on here. One even talking about my journey with one. And I ended up with a watermelon red. I wanted one of those for the longest time just because they looked cool. And I just kept giving it a chance. And I found a few games I liked. Excite by 64 was awesome. Of course, Mario Kart 64 is my favorite of all the Mario Karts. And there was like Asteroid 64. Those were pretty cool. Shadows of the Empire. I didn't get too much into 007. The really popular one there. I'm not feeling well, guys, so I'm not going to be able to recall a lot of things. What the fuck was that game called? All my buddies were in college at the time. They always had that fired up with the controllers. I didn't get into that too much. It was a great game, though. Great game. And, like Diddy Kong Racing. I did like the the pod, the racing games on the N64. I never really thought about it, but the racing games is where it was at, huh? Wow, never really thought of it that way. It's like a flu with a kick in the groin. Oh man, this time it's more so. But yeah, that's exactly what the first round was like. But this time I couldn't taste anything. I made hot dogs last night because I was actually feeling good. I wanted to eat something. So I made a couple of hot dogs. I chopped up some onion, did the whole thing. I couldn't taste the onion. I couldn't taste the relish, the mustard, nothing. But I made them for lunch today for me and one of the girls. They're both home. I could taste the onions today, man. That was better than fucking sex, I'll tell you that. Couldn't taste the onion until today. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. Aerosmith, The Fever. Oh, man. Let me put my glasses back on so I can see what you cats are saying. But yeah, I was never really into the N64. To go back to what I was talking about, Oh, my God. The Mad Monterey says, I'm the same. This was 100 times worse. Oh, no kidding, huh? Let's see. Bloody Swiss schools start so early. Is that where you are? If we've had this conversation, I'm punch drunk from working in prisons for years, getting hit. So sometimes my short-term memory is gone. But yeah, if you're from all the way over there, thank you. Appreciate it. You get up at 6:30 to get the kids ready. I know. Plus, I got to drive my lady to the train station because the cost of leaving the car there all day, every day, it makes no sense. So what I do is I drive her to the station. And it's in our town, it's not too far. So if she has to take a quick bus and then walk up 2 blocks, if I can't pick her back up or whatever, that's not a big deal. But I got to wake up early to do that, sick or not, I mean, I had the choice today, but I just said, you know what? I'll do it. Have you tried daytime Theraflu? You know what? I thought about that too. I thought about getting the stuff, I love Theraflu. So warming. So it's like a hug on the inside. I haven't tried that. I didn't even think about that. Thank you, bro. Thank you. So, what else? I could show off a few gifts I got, I suppose. I have a few of them right here. I promise you guys who've been around for a little while, I do have an update surprise coming. So we'll do that after that. So the first thing to show you, I guess, is... I didn't really get anything gaming related, so... if you're upset about that, too bad. I got a cheap noise gate pedal. It's a guitar effects pedal that basically... like some guitars make a lot more noise for... I'm not going to give you the tech reason, but... they have this thing called 60 cycle hum. And other interferences could come in. Basically what this does is it seeks that out and shuts it the fuck up. So that only the music... and it's more important, like if you're going... and you gotta be quiet for a few seconds, you don't get a lot of... that kind of a thing. And this is just one of those Amazon, like, $30 ones. I did not buy it, or I did not get it for my rig. I don't use... a filter, yes, exactly. I don't use a noise gate on my stuff. I probably should with my single coil equipped instruments. I do have, like, this one here is microphonic. But I don't use it. I'm making this thing called a spirit portal. We're not going to get into the supernatural, whether I believe or not. Because it doesn't really fucking matter either way. But that's one of the tools you need for it. I was just like, you know what? I'll ask for it for Christmas. It's not something I think I would buy, like, right away, just over time. And that's a project I actually started over on the vlog channel. If anyone cares to do that, the Creepy Crawl. I also got this wooden... it's a model kit. It's a model kit for an electric guitar, an amp, a Strat type thing. And according to the picture here, it actually looks like it's pretty rad. Problem is, it's got fucking pentagrams all over it. And I get weirded out by stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it is what it is, but I don't think my sister, when she bought this, realized that, because I know she would have been like, oh, you know what, no, let's not do that. But her heart was in the right place. She said, he likes building things. It's a guitar. It's a shoe-in, but I don't know if I'll build that. I'll probably just sand away that. It's wood, it's wood. And it was laser cut or something. I got a copy of the new Haunted Mansion flick, and in one of those Yankee swaps, some people call them elephant gifts, white elephant gifts or whatever, I ended up with my very first Chia Pet. Fucking Grogu Chia Pet. So, I don't really need to keep that flashing, do I? I got a few other things, like a gift card and $50 from one cat. And a little box of these candies that I like. It was a pretty lean year this year, but that's all right. I didn't care either way. I got my lady a couple of really nice things and let it be. Ooh, that sounds good. I won't ever reproduce that, will I? Almost. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's Christmas. That's fucking Christmas. Look at that. I went through all the topics here. I have been keeping myself busy in between sleeping. I got a couple of projects I brought back. No, it's not a telly. It's believe it or not, a really cheap guitar. I pseudo bought. It's a Les Paul-ish guitar. It's called the SL. When it was in development, it was called the Olympus. Then when it released at $99 a piece, it was called the SL. And now they have it in the Melody Maker category. It's an Epiphone. Thank you. She's gorgeous. Oh, Alex, what's up, buddy? Happy New Year. Thank you for the donation, man. $25. God damn, slow down, bro. No, I really appreciate that. Thank you, dude. I almost messaged you today, but then I fell asleep. Because I'm sick. But I saw Ryan of 60 Cycle Hum playing around with one of these. He saw it at NAMM. It's actually a really fun playlist. If you're into guitar stuff, he's like a California surf kind of guy. So that's his vibe. If you're not into that kind of thing, then maybe his channel's not the best for you. Oh, you guys are sick too? Oh my God, everybody got the vid this year, huh? Merry fucking Christmas, America. God damn. But he was playing around with it, and in the end, he concluded it just wasn't fun to play. He did a whole bunch of things to it. He put vibratos on it, and he put different pickups in it, and he put, and then he used it to test cases, like throwing it off the bridge and shit. And then when that happened, they still glued it back together and did more experiments with it. But at the end, he was just like, you know what? It just wasn't, it didn't do it for him. And he's into really cheap guitars in some cases, and he likes modifying them and stuff like that. But for some reason, this finish, he had a turquoise one. This finish, it just looked awesome. And it used to have 2 single coils, which I wish I still had. I really wish I still had them, because I have another guitar that's just 2 single coils. That would have been awesome to put it in that, but que sera, right? It was in another guitar that I had sold. I put them in there because I planned on using them for that guitar. But then I said, I don't want this guitar. I don't want this guitar anymore, so I sold it off. Something from a long time ago. And these pickups actually came from our friend Alex there. I ended up with 2 sets by accident. One set's going into a bass, which the body's right over there. And I need to finish it. This thing I'm calling the Monster Bass. And they're not Filtertron, Howard. They're what they call toaster-style pickups. More geared towards Rickenbacker. Here, let me unplug this. They're more like Rickenbacker style pickups. They look like Gibson mini pickups, mini hums, with a Rickenbacker flavor to them. And they are humbuckers. Microphonic is all get out. Well, maybe not so much, huh? Oh, it's because I was on the wrong pickup. They're wicked microphonic, but they have that sound. I can't tell you what sound it is, but it's that sound. You know, it's very. I plugged this into a tube amp, which I have a Black Star Studio 10 with the 6L6s, not the EL34s. Again, this is for the guys who know. It's a great little simple ass tube amp, and it sounds amazing. Whenever I plug this into something like that, there's just this vintage 70s vibe that just oozes out of it. So good. So good. Own signature sound. Absolutely. Absolutely. I thought about pouring epoxy into the coil or into the cover to get rid of the microphonic. Because some companies do that. They use epoxy. Most places dip them in hot paraffin wax. It's called wax potting. But I don't know about the timing and all that. I'll let the people who know what they're doing do that shit. But I can whip up epoxy and slowly pour it into the pickup cover anyway, you know. So I was thinking about doing that to get rid of the microphonic nature of it. Although it's not as bad as some could be. I mean, there's some you can get this close to it and be like, "Hey, what's up?" and you can hear yourself through the amp. This one you have to really scream, and it helps if you have a lot of drive onto it, a lot of distortion. But and I'm actually thinking about taking them out of this guitar because the way this guitar is built, the pickups can't get close enough to the strings. It's bizarre, the design of it. I've tried to lower the bridge a little bit further, but because of the tilt of the neck, and even if I were to shim it, it would still be goofy, and it's fine as it is, so I don't want to shim it. So what I need to do is either make risers for it, basically a plate underneath the plate that they're on already, give them a little bit of height. But I'm also thinking about making this more of a junior situation. The guitar body, and the reason I brought up 60 cycle hum is because when I got this thing, it needed a really good setup, obviously. It's a $100 guitar. I think by the time I got it, they were $125. And it needed a setup. I cleaned up the fretboard, got everything going, because it was real dry. It was fucking dry, bone dry. And it has a resonance to it. It's loud. You know, I just turned the volume all the way down. And you can feel it in every ounce of it. I can feel it against my body vibrating. I can feel it in the neck while I'm playing it. And I'm sure it's one out of every 200 of these that are like that. I just got fucking lucky. I really did. And I told him that, I'm like, he probably suspected the same thing, but I got one because of him, and it turned out to be one of the guitars I reached for more often. I had, and I sold it for, when we were going to Disney so I can get my Darksaber and a couple other things. I had a Les Paul Tribute, which everyone picks on. That was a fucking amazing guitar. What are you talking about? Oh, but it doesn't have binding crits and the neck is made of maple. Get the fuck out of here, you idiot. It was a great, and it had a satin, so it was like an open pour finish, so that thing resonated. It was, those two, I couldn't get between that, those are the two I always reached for. Now, I mean, I got a whole bunch. I got two Glaries over here. One of them I need to wire up, my 335 copy, and about 2 or 3 other projects, and of course my PV Strat, which is another go-to. I would take that out playing live tonight if I had a gig. Seriously. And I got the Jackson over there, the one I got for free. I traded off the Crack-a-Lacka Jackson, the one that looked like lava, to some younger cat. He printed me up some stuff from my Mando kit. He wasn't the greatest at printing. And I didn't give him measurements for my shin because I thought that part just came, I ended up getting screwed in the end with it, but he was a young dude, and when he held it and looked at it, it was just like, you know what, he could have ripped me off 100%. I'd have been like, you know what, that's all right. That's all right. Because he was genuinely happy. And I don't think he did it to be mouthful. He's a younger. I didn't expect that. I didn't know he was going to be so young. Old enough, but And he drove from so far. So the gauntlets, I also got gauntlets. Those will work as soon as I cut them open and, and reconfigure them. So I don't have that one anymore. But yeah, I mean, $120. We do $10. No, they're a $12 set of pickups. Right as rain, man. It's a nice guitar. It's a nice guitar. If you get one that's... I almost bought a black one and do an experiment with it. Like add a top to it, hollow it out, and turn it into like one of those Acoustasonics. But one of the things I think Fender got wrong with those is they put the magnetic pickup, the typical what you would have in a guitar, at the bridge position. And with an acoustic guitar, you're generally not playing pretty rock and roll. I mean, you could use the argument that that's for when you're going soft and then you just want to go in and, I think I almost broke a string. But I would think the neck pickup is a nice smooth, It should be creamy. Almost woman tone like, as they call it. I mean, I know that's when you drop the tone all the way, but I think those things would have been better served with the neck pickup. So I was thinking about doing that with one of these. If I could find another one resonant like this, I was going to have to mill out the whole body, insert a nice piece of probably, spruce, and learn where to brace it and basically do what they did, but with one of these. I'm just not to. I love those Acoustasonics, man. I want the Telly, the one that has almost a finish very similar to this. I forget what they call it. They give it a weird name. Something like burnt something. I don't know. But there's few instruments that like I feel call to like something in here, like a soul. And that guitar calls to my soul. I really think I need one. So that's on the future list here, and with the new pay rate and everything, it should not be too inaccessible here soon. Plus, Zounds does payment, so and they get a couple extra. They have one that's now $900. If you don't mind the color, it's like your typical acoustic guitar, yellow or white. People didn't like those ones, so they're like $900. Where the one I want is still like $1,200 or $1,500 for the Mexican version. I don't know if I would ever be able to afford one of the American-made ones. Those are up in the 2,000 range, if not. Some of them are higher. They're putting like paisley and shit on them too now. There's like an offset Jag style body that they did like a black paisley on it. It looks cool, but that's the only one with an actual humbucker. The Strat and the Telly both come with a single coil. So to answer the question, this is just an Epiphone SL. There you go. 3 hours to tell you it was an Epiphone SL. So check it out. Those who've been around for a little while, maybe some of you are here because of that. I have a playlist called The Milieu Macabre. That's what I call my art. Whenever I do something creative, I call it, except for music, I call it The Milieu Macabre. And one of the projects I started like 3 or 4 years ago, and once in a while I'll get the same comment on one of those videos. When the fuck are you going to finish this? That's the only reason I came here. And I'm just like, when I feel like it, you cocks. No, I'm just kidding. I don't get that mean about it. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's all about feel, and gotta stop doing that. One of them was, and I hope YouTube doesn't get mad, and we talk about a weapon, was a long slide 45 with laser sighting. This fucking thing. I started this a while ago and just kind of put it in a box and let it be. And I've been working on this, and I'm going to try to get a video on the update of it all, because there are new updates. And again, this is for those who have been around for a while. I extended the barrel with that 3D printed extender, and between last night and putting putty on it whenever, no, not Charles Bronson. Oh my God, you just offended me. I love Charles Bronson, but it's only one of my favorite movies of all time now. We'll get to that in a minute, Howard. I'm just fucking with you. Blended it. And this was a 3D printed part, so I had to get rid of the lines and everything. So we finally finished that. I'm working on the actual laser scope itself. These are 3D printed parts. So I gotta. No, I'm just messing with you, Howard. No, from the Terminator. From the Terminator. If you watch the original one, he kills most of the people with this thing. That first lady where he Sarah Connor and he punches the door open, he pulls it out of his coat, has a laser beam on it. That's what I'm making here. Actually, hold on. I actually hand fabricated the rail for the laser sight. The laser sight, but yeah, my buddy came up with a 3D printed one. I'm just like, no, I'm going to stick with this because I worked my ass off on this one. That's going to be the next thing I do, extending the barrel and then blending that in. And then the rest of it will be just painting and assemble, honestly. I got some more work to do on here. This has to be rounded off. And there's a lot of rings in it from the printing. And there's some separation here from where I had to put it together. This is three. Yeah, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this tip was 5. So there's a couple of seams that I had to blend out. This one I need to finish doing tonight, as a matter of fact. And I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but can you see the rings in there? Those are pretty deep. That's from printing something this way. And you set your print lines as low as you can without wasting too much product. And more times than not, that's what you're really working on when you're working on 3D printed parts. But to give you a little bit of an idea where we're going with this, the grip will literally just slap right back on, and that will have the scope rail. Let me put that on there. And then, without breaking this piece, it's a very thin 3D printed part. And this would go, something like that. Something like that. And just picture it all silver. Picture it all. Wow, that looks sick as fuck. I think this is the first time I'm actually looking at it like this. Wow. Excuse me. I need a moment. But yeah, so that's the surprise. Can you tell I'm scraping for content? No, I got plenty of content. I want to play a lot of games and stuff. Oh no, I heard a snap. Ah, man, 3D printed parts are tough to deal with. Come on out. There we go. Thank God I need to still work on this. Oh, I see what snap. It's fine. There was a part of the what do you call it there? The supports from the printing process. I just snapped a little bit more of that off. But I got a whole bunch of little pieces in here. I got another grip. I got the piece for the end. The muzzle. The muzzler. Shut your muzzle hole. So I've been working on that for, since last night. Well, I've been working on the whole thing for a couple of years, But so if you've been around and you were excited about that, we're gonna be getting it. Oh, Alex, bro, thank you, man. I can message you later with a dumb guitar question. Trying to make custom glary Strat. Oh, do you already have the glary, bro? Because if you don't, grab the one I got here, and we can make it like we can be stepfathers. You have it for a week, and I get it on my vacations, and just no child support, please. I deal with that enough already. In fact, I'm fucking so behind. It blows my fucking mind how much it's going to take for me to... I've been homeless a few times, and in those times, is obviously if you're not earning, you're not paying, and they don't give a shit. And the interest on being so behind and late is extraordinarily high, but they still get their shit every week from me, Every time I've been employed, they've gotten what they get, so it pisses me off when I see fucking dudes who never pay anything, It's fucking bums. Here I am fucking worrying about it at all times. And it fucking destroyed me financially. Whenever I tell you guys I'm poor, honestly, and I'm not complaining, because that's why I've never mentioned it. I don't want anyone fucking, Atari Creep's complaining because of child support. That's why I'm poor. It basically takes fucking a grip of mine because of how behind I got. 2 years in the streets is it's a lot of time to fucking lose track of money. Alex, not yet. I'm getting a white one. The black pickguard. Right on, dude. Right on. Right on. Watch a lot of videos about them, not just mine, so you can expect what you're gonna get. Glairy's a great learning tools, and I believe I made a video about this on my other channel. They're not a great beginner's guitar unless by beginner you're talking about a tech. They can play out of the box if you adjust a few simple things, give or take. I mean, some of them come out just fine. Other ones are nightmares. You know the deal. But you definitely have to wrestle with a Glairy. Actually, with the Strass and the Tellys, the lower price stuff, that 335 of mine, I'm not really wrestling anything with it. It's me not wiring something up because I'm too fucking lazy and want someone else to do it because it's a pain in the ass. With the Glairy 335, you have a hole about this big to run all of the electronics through, except for the pickups, of course, because it has its own cradle and holes and all that stuff. And there's no back plate to work on everything. So you essentially have to work on it outside the guitar and then fish it into the guitar and fish it up back through where the pots and the switch. I'll pay some fuck to do that. Fuck that. But dude, yeah, anytime, man. Obviously. Get a hold of me. Get a hold of me. I say call me, but I don't like answering the phone. When people call, I look at the phone. I'm just like, not happening. And I've been that way even before cell phones. I would always let the machine pick it up. I don't know why I've always had. It's like an irrational fear of the phone. Like I'm not like, oh, and I get all, But an anxiety starts to swell up. It doesn't matter. I could be expecting a phone call. Or when I'm calling someone. I know a lot of you guys do this. Oh, please, voicemail pickup, voicemail pickup, voicemail pickup. And you're happy when it does. Because you finally got the balls to call them. And then you're like, I don't want to fucking do this, bro. Hey, what's going on, bud? Wow, I got your voicemail. I was hoping to talk to you. Whatever. But yeah, if it ever came down to it, of course, give me a ring. But Howard says, dope. Give me a chrome finish. Hell yeah. I like black guitars with chrome. Like just black. And then chrome. Nothing else. And I had a Les Paul Studio that I sold off for like $500 a while back. Holy shit. I kind of wish I hadn't done that one. That was one of the ones from the 90s with the ebony fingerboard, and I believe those come with the same pickup set that the Customs at the time came with. But it had some water damage and everything, and it was one of those guitars I repaired for somebody. And then for payment of the repair, he gave me the guitar. And I was like, what? And it's funny because it started just before COVID. And then when COVID started cooling down, I finally called him up, and I was just like, it's done, bro. I mean, let's do this. And he says, okay, hold on. I'll see you at our daughters dance together and that's how we knew each other. And we did the dad dance together. Little known fact, I had a solo and a dance routine during a dad dance. How's that? I'm multi-fucking talented. I flailed around like a fucking weirdo. That's what I did. But yeah, I would do the dad dance what my hip would allow me to in my daughter's dance school. That was pretty cool, but I don't know. We still going? We still going where? Go Firefly, if you can get them. My nephew has a Firefly 335 copy. I was wicked impressed by that. I'm like, so what have you done to this? And the dude's like, nothing. I set the action. And I restrung it. And I'm like, wow. This is worlds above Glairy. And it's maybe $100 more. if you can find them. Firefly is one of those things where you got to be quick on those because when they're for sale, they're gone. But there's a lot of companies coming out like that now. There's a lot, and there's a lot to choose from. And I'm seeing new ones every day. There's one, they have like a V. I gotta go on there. I'll come up with the name of it while I'm talking. But Amazon guitars, I basically call them. There's Groot. Groot makes a couple. There's this one telly that they make that's it's like a semi-hollow. What they call those, the thin lines. That's just gorgeous, but it's more modern. It's curved, and it's got a nice top to it. Probably a veneer or photo top, but just really great guitars. And this new one I just found. Let me go into here. Electric, not toothbrush. But there's a lot of company. Donner is another one. Donner is a great one. Let me see if I can find this. I mean, they had a couple. They had an Explorer. They have a single cut, Les Paul style thing. And the V is what I was looking for. Looking at, I should say. Oh, they also had a yellow SG style thing with black racing stripes. Here we go. Here's the name of the West Creek. West Creek Guitars on Amazon. Fuck yeah. Hater? I'm not a hater. Let's see. Unless you're talking about something else. Sarah Snotnose and Johnny Fart Pants graduate yet. What the fuck? Richie, you alright, buddy? You okay? Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Okay. I did before I came on. Kiesel semi-hollow sort of telly shape that Alan Holworth used to have. Yeah, no, I know all about... I don't like Kiesel. The guitars were great, and a lot of what he did as far as like finishes are starting to become dated. Unfortunately, because they were really cool. Like he had this one called Denim burst, but the bursts would be reversed, It wouldn't be lighter in the center, and it would usually start... Like he would hard carve into the body so that the maple would expose a lot of the mahogany, which looked awesome. But then that's where the burst would start. But I heard from a number of people, that I know, that if you have an issue with the guitar, they're dickheads about it. Like they just can't be like, oh, okay, well let's see if we can't work this out. I don't know. I wish Carvin was still around. I wish you could still, I bought. Oh, where are they? Fuck, I moved them. I found 3 old Guitar Worlds from the 90s, 92 and 93. And I was going through them, and I was looking at all the old Kramers and the old this and that. And I mean, I know Kramer was kind of dying off by this point, and they might have already had, but there was a Kramer, there was a Schecter when they were like still just making Strat copies and shit. But there was a Carvin one. Get the catalog, and it showed the Ultra V and the fucking pearl blue that I really in the gold hardware that I used to dream about in high school. But Kegel makes some really great stuff. It's just beautiful. It's quality, and I'm happy he did what he did because his father ran Carvin, the shop, I believe. And Carvin, I mean, come on, what were they really doing? Nothing, really, And I think people were getting further and further away from Carvin. Less people knew about him. And then here comes this young guy, and he fucking revamped the whole thing. But to go back to what you're saying, he had a long history with Carvin, and of course it translated over. Beautiful guitars. I don't know. There was just something about that dude that just was off-putting to me. I don't know. Wednesday through January 2nd, Wendy's is offering a Bacon Jr. to celebrate Wendy's National Bacon Day. Oh, right on. I don't like Wendy's burgers. I used to, but they're just too greasy. They hurt my belly. How is this fair enough? I'm assuming you're talking about my saying about Kiesel and all that. Alan, all you need to do is website or app. You'll find deals under offers Burgers and pennies and what you order. Okay, so that must be part of something that you guys are talking about. People leave a like at the door. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Only if you like it. I mean, I'm not going to be that, hey, just like it because you fucking should. No, if you like what's going on, man, let me know. That's how you let me know. He plays some beautiful guitars, and yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's a guy on TikTok that he's part of the whole. I think it's cool, but he plays very serene, very ambient background kind of stuff, and I'll listen to him in the morning sometimes. And he plays one of their carvings, the headless Alan Hallworth. It's a nice guitar, but I think his is a carving. But just so many inexpensive. I don't want to say cheap. So many inexpensive, man. These guitars, I wish they were out when I was learning. Because all we got was a bunch of fucking overweight plywood guitars. I'm not saying that they're not. I have a plywood V here that I need to finish painting the bottom. That sounded amazing and played great. The neck on it has a nice flame to it. It's a maple with a rosewood, real rosewood. So I mean, that's a win right there. But just I don't know. If all these companies were out in the 80s when I was learning how to play, mid to late 80s, would have been a great time. Would have been amazing. Warmouth are good. Oh, you live near Warmouth? I used to bug them all the time back in the day. I was always on the phone with them before the internet. Getting their catalogs and asking them, would you do this? And more times than not, it was like, no. Like they had a banana-shaped headstock, but they traditionally made it so that the truss rod adjustment was at the heel of the neck. And if you know anything, I was going to put it on a solid body guitar, almost like a Kramer 5150 style thing, but mixed with a little bit of George Lynch, hence the headstock. And I'm like, would you please put the adjustment at the at the headstock level? And they're like, nope. And that's literally how they would respond. Nope. Boom. Not a thanks for calling or coming by. Warmouth is a little different now. Because of legal stuff and all that, a lot of their stuff looks completely different. But their build quality is still fantastic. Their wood selections are usually really good. I think they're overpriced, though. Maybe not. Maybe because you can get a custom thing. But once you start talking CNC machines, that value of custom made kind of, to me anyway, if you got somebody cutting it with a bandsaw, and then maybe the machine was coming and doing the thing, and the thing would do the stuff. If you had like real hands on it, then of course. But I think they're mainly CNC machine. And if I'm wrong, someone please interject and let me know. I live in Everett. Oh, that's funny. There's a Everett here, a couple towns over. It's not the nicest one in the world, but I bought a Warmouth, played the hell out of it. Which model of Warmouth? Skull control knobs, nice. You know what I've been in the mood for? And there's a couple of cheaper ones on eBay for like $150. The Skull and Bones guitar from, we just talked about, George Lynch. But you can buy just the body unpainted and roughly carved out, and I would just do the rest with my Dremel and a couple of chisels. I've been fucking in the mood to build that guitar. I mean, I got all these other things I need to work on, but oh my God. Whenever I saw Dream Warriors, that's how I found out Dokken even existed. I sure as fuck knew who Fred Krueger was, though. Whenever, when I saw the video for the Dream Warriors, and I saw that guitar, man, my little 87, however old I was, got a fucking rocket in my pocket and was ready to rock and roll. In more ways than one, if you know what I mean. Anyone seen the Iron Claw? BC Rich made some really ugly guitars that are rock staples now. The Iron, the Iron. If it's the one, no, I'm thinking of Iron Bird. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the Iron Bird. The Iron Claw, no idea, no idea. John Carpenter made that live soundtrack. Right on. You got Holla, then what? And then fall asleep. Hold on, let me get this. Let me get this. You got Hoga, then fell asleep. Oh, I got home? Is that what you're talking about? Or high? Oh, high. Then fell asleep. That happens, but not too well. You know what? No. The weed, the type I smoke doesn't really put you to sleep. I don't like that. I use it mostly. Well, in this case, it's been helping me with the body ache. So I'm like literally taking like a quarter toke. I'm just like barely taking any. And it's really taking the body aches away. But I honestly use it when my anxiety starts to peak a little bit as a result of symptoms from PTSD. Not just anxiety. I don't use it when I get anxious. I just fucking breathe and tell myself to calm the fuck down. I assure myself that nothing is wrong. But when my PTSD flares up, hold on one second. All right, I'll see you soon. Lady's on the train. I got to leave in about 3 minutes. I didn't expect it. She's not normally on the train this early. She's normally not on until about 5 o'clock, so we're going to be cutting this a little short. But you were 12 and 87. Thank you, my man. Appreciate that. But I mainly do it when my PTSD kicks in. That's really it. All right, I didn't expect to cut this so short. Maybe I'll try to come back on later on tonight when everyone's settled down. I mean, obviously, the guitar won't be there. But yeah, whatever you guys do or don't do, or I don't know, fucking holidays is the silly season for whatever it is you fucking worship, don't worship, you swing your dick and kill the chickens. I don't care what you do. I just hope whatever it was went well, and it was encouraging, and made you feel good, because lately things just don't feel good, you know? 2023 was one of those years where, you know, you see people achieving shit, and just getting through it is more of an achievement than anything else. So here's to that. I hope you guys had a great holiday with your friends and families and your pets and your imaginary friends and whatever it is you do, you know? And here's to a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year for everybody, you know? Hopefully this year will be, you know, it'll be a step above, if you will, guys. I gotta go get my lady at the choo-choo station. Thank God, because I'm starting to calm down from the thingy-ma-dookie. It's 3 blocks around the corner. So, guys, I'm going to try to come back on later. If not, until next time, if we don't see each other, have a wonderful new year. Take care. Keep it real. And bye-bye. Hold on. Scott Jones, what's up, buddy? Thanks for streaming. Give Devious my best wishes. I will. I don't talk to him as much anymore, but because they moved out of town, and I'm the fuck uncle, you know. In my family, I'm like the lower totem pole of my brothers and sisters. So, but yeah, no, definitely, I'll let them know. You said hi, guys.